Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Foreign Correspondents Club. My name is James Sims. I'm on the PAC committee. At the head table is also Stephen Carrere. He's a FCCJ member who's also worked on a lot of PAC issues. And then, of course, is our guest speaker today, Mr. Genichi Tamatsuka. And I probably don't need to go into much of a long introduction, but probably everybody here's been to a convenience store and probably goes to them more than a few times a week. And I know one thing that's really attracted me recently is the coffee. Convenience stores have coffee now, and I probably go, more than I used to, just because of things like coffee. But last year, for example, the convenience store industry, I believe, hit a new record in terms of sales, and they're actually becoming a bigger and bigger part of the Japanese retail sector. And one of the issues that I've seen, and I know that has been raised by analysts and I think other people who live in Japan, is the increase in the number of convenience stores. It seems like there are more convenience stores than there are Japanese bank branches at this point. And so today, our guest speaker will be able to address some of these issues, as well as, I think, consolidation in the industry. There was just recently a story, I think, about the new holding company with Circle K and Sunkus. And I guess they will have probably the second, or maybe almost as large as the industry giant 7 & I Holdings in terms of number of stores. And so hopefully our speaker today can address that. Anyway, so Mr. Genichi Tamatsuka, he's the president and CEO of Lawson. Also in regards to the consolidation in the sector, I know they recently signed a letter of intent to form an alliance with 3F. Is that? Yes. And so maybe he can talk a bit about that. And I know they're also pushing very hard to, I think, branch out overseas as well. And anyway, so ironically, we had his predecessor last month, Mr. Takeshi Ninami, who was the head of Lawson, and until after that, Mr. Tamatsuka took over. And so Mr. Ninami also has a very long career. I believe he started out first at Asahi Glass. Yes, you started at Asahi Glass first. And then he was also the head of fast retailing. And then he joined Lawson in 2011. And he was also a graduate of Keio University. And I understand he also played rugby there. So I imagine he's probably still a big rugby fan. But anyway, without any further ado, I would like to welcome our speaker today, the president and CEO of Lawson, Mr. Genichi Tamatsuka. And he will talk, I think, briefly about sort of the convenience store sector as a whole, and then I think a bit more in specific about Lawson.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for giving me opportunity, this place, to have opportunity to speak to you about the Lawson and the convenience store industry. Could you look at the, since I have only 30 minutes, so limited time, so I want to go through a little bit about the Lawson and what's happening in our industry. ちょっと次のページ、はい、すいません。The Lawson is originally started from Ohio, where I went to graduate school for a long time ago. And J.J. Lawson was doing the store called Lawson Milk, so distributing milk. And then he started selling bread, and he started selling other stuff. That's formulated convenience format. And then during the 60s, 70s, Lawson was spread over United States, especially Northeast America. However, it was acquired by other company. And then at the moment, there is no Lawson in United States. So in some future, we have to bring back Lawson for Mr. J.J. Lawson. That's our dream in the future. Now we have about 12,000 stores right now. And we are 99% of our stores operated by under the franchise model. 6,000 franchise owners operating 12,000 stores. We have only 180 directly operating model. So this is one of the nature of our business. About 220,000 people working today at the 12,000 stores. Total revenue size is 2 trillion yen. and number of customer every day visiting is 10 million. 次 next slide お願いします。The Japan environment changing very rapidly. So if you ask me what is your job, my answer is how I can rapidly adapt or react to the market change. That's the nature of our business. As you know, it's aging society. Elderly customer is increasing. However, we should not generalized elderly society, because my friend who is 60 years old, 70 years old, still very energetic. Many of them have certain, money, and they prefer more healthier food. They have a lot of hobbies. So it's elderly society, yes. However, we have to look very carefully this movement changing the consumer behavior and the consumer market very rapidly. And number of household has been increasing, still increasing. And the size of the family getting smaller and smaller. A long time ago, I was living with my mother, with my grandmother, and they buy radish, fall radish, and all vegetables and cook at home. However, we can merely see those kind of situation. The size of the family is getting smaller and smaller, one people or two people. And Japanese people are getting busier and busier because our number of workforce has been decreasing, as you can see. And you should look at the last one is retail stores. 40 years ago, we had 1.6 million number of stores in Japan. Bookstores, vegetable shop, supermarket, toy shops. But now it's already less than 0.8 million stores. And then, customers, people, 87% of people is health conscious. They do put attention on the health issues, and they do care about natural disaster and so forth. And the working age population population will be decreasing. So those are the, view of the changes. So if you look at those things, our business, which is we are doing relatively small size of the neighborhood stores, has potential if we can continuously adjust to the market change and the market opportunities. That's an overview for the environment in Japan. Next slide, please. So based on that change, show the those kind of result. Two channels in our retail sectors has been increasing. So one sector is Shibuya's convenience sectors. Already we reached 10 trillion yen market. And obviously the other channel is e-commerce, Rakuten, Amazon, those kind of people. Department stores, general merchandising stores. In general, there are so many good, GMS, very good department stores. I really like to go there, like Isetan, those kind of places. However, in general, those big box players are losing the market share. That's the situation. Next slide, please. What we have to do based on those changes? What we have to do is we have to really make our neighborhood stores. We were convenience stores. If you need cigarette, jump into Lawson. I need some Coke, jump into the Lawson. That was the convenience stores. But we have to become more essential stores for the community. And we have to support total daily lifestyles. That's the direction we have to go. So we are now expanding our merchandising assortment, more supermarket type of the merchandising. However, we cannot do exactly similar thing with supermarket. We are limited spaces, we are small, so customer is not expecting a lot of fresh items, but we prepare very high quality, well prepared easy to cook, easy to use, easy to utilize. So those kind of supermarket substitution items, the needs for those has been expanding. So thus we have to expand those areas. Not only selling food and the merchandising, but also we have to give the customers the various services which the community needs. We have nowadays, we are pick-up point for Amazon or Rakuten people for the home delivery. So we have the multimedia terminals where customer can, get the ticket for the concert, travel, and we have the ATM machine and then those kind of the cashing and the banking facilities and needs for those has been increasing. We have the very close collaboration with the Japan Post, and we have the mailbox. So not only the selling the merchandising, but also we will be the place for the community and the town to drop by. We are starting the selling the electricity with the combination. We set up a joint venture with Mitsubishi Corporation, starting from March. Miyazaki-san, そうだね。Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah, April. 次のスライドをお願いします。Because we have to become more essential stores, we have to strengthen our capability to support daily life for the customer. We about 1.5 years ago we acquired a company called Seijoishi. They are they put the supermarket. To me, it's not they are not supermarket. They are the kind of ideal model for neighborhood stores. Their size of store is relatively small, similar with us, 150 square meters, 50 tsubo, that's the average. They still have the like a 10 tsubo type of the very small format. But they are selling a lot of the delicatessen kind of items, supermarket substitution items, wines, bread, cheese, those of things. However, typical supermarket fresh food components occupies about 40-50%, which which is very difficult to get a gross margin, a higher gross margin. But Seijoishi case is a fresh food ratio is such a small, like a 12%, 13%, where they can enjoy 35% of gross margin, which is quite high among the industry. So we acquired them, Seijoishi, because they have the essence where we have to go for the future. We have about 850 Lawson store 100. So they are more value-oriented. They are more dedicated to the supermarket type of the merchandising assortment. So by combining those other brands and those challenges, as a Lawson, total Lawson, we want to become the essential store for the communities. Next slide, please. Two initiatives we are taking. One is the supply chain management. The other one is the customer relationship management. For the supply chain management, we are trying to become the manufacturing retailers. I strongly believe in the retail sectors the only format which we can survive is the manufacturing retailer format. Manufacturing retailer meaning we don't have to own the asset for the factories or sourcing, but what we have to do is we want to have the 100% transparency and the visibility of the sourcing, procurement, and the productions. And then we are every day facing with customers. So based on the customer's information, quickly develop a new type of the product and then give the customers. The typical example of this model is the Uniqlo fast retailing where I was working there. The Uniqlo is, their case is not franchise model, 100% directly operating model, every day facing with customers, a bunch of data, and they are controlling the fabrics, buttons, all those kind of product, and then controlling manufacturing. So we are trying to become a truly manufacturing retailer model. And in terms of the CRM, this area is getting very important. We have the Ponta loyalty card, and now about 70 million card members. However, as a Lawson unique active member, about 35 million card members. And 50% of our total revenue come from those loyalty card members. If you go like Akita, Iwate, those rural area, the 70% of the revenue come from those card members. If you go really, closed market like hospital, so 95% of their revenue come from loyalty card members. So we can see many things from those data. Now, since last year summer, each store is now has to decide what kind of merchandising assortment they have to prepare, and then each store placing order to the factory. How many rice bowl they need, how many bento box they need. Now we implementing the semi-automated ordering system to each stores. We calculate each store's the preferences for the customers, ideal merchandising assortment, and how many bento box they have to order for the morning, afternoon, and evening. So we are introducing those kind of technologies. So this is one of the example. However, having 100% understand, deep understand of the customer by utilizing those so-called big data is another very important engine for us in the future. はい、次お願いします。This is manufacturing retail model. Total every process will be visible, especially product development and procurement processing. Next slide, please. 次スライドお願いします。Some of the example is the James mentioned about the coffee, and we totally control the old sourcing. For instance, like we have the contracted coffee bean farm in Brazil. They call the Ipanema farms, and then we are directly importing from them for the coffee beans, and we process those. And the milk is very important for cafe latte, so we're controlling the milk sourcing. And some of the example like pork from that's pork from maybe Spain. Oh no, Kyushu pork, and shark fin bentos. We totally controlling sourcing and manufacturing, and then provide very high quality with a very advantage, very good quality product to the customers. That's the direction we really want to go. Hi. Some of the example for the Ponta card, we see the product every Tuesday. Convenience store introducing a new product. You may not know for this kind of things. However, we normally see the let's say Tuesday new type of Coca-Cola introduced. Okay, we see the 10 bottle of Coca-Cola sold Tuesday, Wednesday 8 bottles, Thursday 8 bottles. Those are the things during the POS time we could see how many bottles of Coca-Cola we could sold. In addition to that, by utilizing our data, two key indicators very important. One is a trial rate. The other one is a repeat rate. And the repeat rate is very important for strong merchandising. So strong trial rate and strong repeat rate is the best merchandising assortment. For example, the left-hand side, brown bread, which is the low carb or type of the bread, very popular among not only women's but also the men's. Those brown bread, in terms of sales quantity, if we compare to the melon bread, melon pan, it's relatively small. However, the repeat ratio is totally different. So about 50% of repeat ratio. So initially, we introduced brown bread about 3 years ago. The quantity is not that big. So all store managers, franchisees, stop taking those bread. However, we told them, no, wait. This is amazingly high repeat ratio. And some of the customer really, try to really need this bread again and again. So you should, put this brown bread at the store shelf. So we keep selling, and the quantity is coming back. For instance, like a green smoothie, those are the one with the very, very, high selling the juice, green-based juice, very high repeat ratio. And the blend coffee, premium roll cake is the very popular, our dessert, which is 10%. If we reach like a 10%, 15%, those are very high repeat ratio items. Next slide, please. And we should be very careful about the discussion based on the average. Let's say last month for delicatessen category increased the sales compared to last year 120% as an average 12,000 stores. It doesn't mean so much. So the one question is so for delicatessen category, the market, how much percentage market has been increasing? Or, always there's a standard deviation. The best 20% top stores, how much, growth they are generating? The worst 20% of the stores, what's the result? What's the reason? We have to really, deeply look at those kind of things. So the average is very dangerous. For example, very simple example is the karaage-kun, which is the chicken nuggets, very popular item. This year, they become 30th anniversary. So karaage-kun generally viewed as for the young people. But if you look at we have various type of the karaage-kun. Some of the karaage-kun is very popular even among the old people and the female customers, male customers. By watching those data, we have to come up with the ideal merchandising assortment, product development. This is one of the example. はい、次お願いします。The other things we have to really focus on is the health. As you know, the Japan's social cost is increasing. This is a national issues. What as a Lawson we can do is we should contribute to the more healthier society, healthier country. So let's say 4 or 5 years ago, we did not have any health-related merchandising sales. It's very negligible. However, 2014, 118 billion yen. And then last year was 200 billion yen. Maybe this year reaching 250 to 280 billion yen. Our total revenue is 2 trillion yen. 60% of 2 trillion yen is food-related items. That means already about 20%. This is not only the private brand, but also national brand. For example, very low carbonated, snacks, or very healthy type of the tea, tokuho, those kind of things. So if we count those kind of things, those are the numbers. So those are the answer from the customers. The customers is paying attention, started seriously paying attention for the health conscious one. The other approach we have to take is the home delivery service, obviously, for aging society. And we are now about over 100 stores. We have the over-the-counter medicine together with the Lawson. We call it the healthcare model. So by those kind of healthcare model, expanding healthcare model, we want to really expand those areas as a kind of differentiation factor for our industry. Next slide, please. The other initiative we are taking is the meeting local needs. The Japan is, if you go Kansai, if you go Kyushu, if you go Shikoku, each region has different preferences, a different taste. So we are changing the based on the region. This is one of the example, the oden's, soup to the 6 different regions. The other initiatives we are making is the local production, local consumption. This is Chisan-Chisho. And then local production, nationwide consumption. Chisan-Gaisho ですね。So those activities very important to create very strong tie with each communities. So Japan has so many attractive raw materials. We pick up some raw materials, for instance, that maybe coaches, fish, and then we make a rice ball, very nice rice ball. Initially, we sell in that particular region. If that sales is really good, we spread all over the Japan. So coach people really appreciate for those kind of activity. The other activity we are doing is the Lawson farms. We have now operating 23 farms nationwide. And then, by the way, I worry about the farm agriculture reform, the speed of agriculture reform. Koizumi-san is now leading those reforms, and really, we really should support him because. As you may know, the agriculture population 10 years ago, 3 million people, now already less than 2 million people. And if that's reached 1.5 million, under our estimate, we may have a supply issue for the fresh items. So, but under the TPP, the rice was protected, and we are taking various initiatives to make agriculture more productive, highly productive industry. However, it's very, very slow movement. So we are, by doing ourselves those activities, we want to make an ideal model for the agriculture because the constant sourcing, securing supply for the fresh items is our job for the customers. The other serious trend which we are facing is the workforce. So workforce population will be decreasing from now on. If you look at especially between 15 to 34 years old, the number of the workforce will be decreasing. It's already happening in our industry, not only our industry like construction industries, all service sectors. And then already serious issues. What we have to do? Only 3 actions. One is we secure existing employees and increase their satisfaction. They like more about Lawson. We have to secure them. That's the first action we have to take. Second action is that we invite more other workforce from the people did not work for Lawson in the past. For instance, more elderly people, more housewife, female. We do have 103-hour issues, 130 hours issues, those kind of things. Ninami-san is now tackling. And we have to open up door to the foreign people, foreign workforce. Unless otherwise, we cannot sustain the total industry. The third action we have to take is to fundamentally change our productivity at the store level. So those are the actions we have to take. And especially for the last one, it's very important. I think maybe 5 years, 10 years down the road, the company or store can realize very high productivity. Only those stores can survive based on those trends. This is my view. So that's why we are now taking the fundamental approach to improve the productivity by utilizing IT and those kind of things. Next slide, please. So again, we are franchise model. So we have to share the vision. We have to share the direction. We have direct communication is very important because 6,000 franchisees are the one every day facing with our customers. So we do have the Lawson seminar. Tamatsuka-san wearing red jacket, and then every session about 600 people joining the session twice a day. I directly communicating with them. We have the periodic regional meetings. I'm on the video every month for the direct communication. Those are the very important things for February. Let's do it together. So those are the very important actions. Next slide, please. So in terms of overseas, we have now presence in China, about 600 stores, and Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines. Under the TPP, we are seriously started considering about Vietnam, Malaysia, those kind of market. But so far, our presence is in China and Southeast Asia. We have few stores in Hawaii, but not yet in Ohio. So we have to seriously evaluating the opportunity for going to the North America. Although the convenience stores, our neighborhood store in the United States and Japan may have big difference. Next slide, please. This is the final slide. I think we are getting the social infrastructure, and I think the good part for working for Lawson is people started talking about the CSV, creating shared value. Doing business itself is meaningful or contributing to society. Our business is like that because we are operating 24 hours for the sake of the business. However, because we have the right 24 hours. If you go rural area, so there's Lawson, there's light, so it creates a safety. We have now already 8 safety camera in the stores. If there's some happening or accident or something happened, we immediately share those video film with police people. And we are now approaching the 5th year of the tsunami 3/11. At that time, we are the one utilizing our network, our stores, by using the trucks, by using helicopters, distributing the fundamental items like rice bowl and waters. And now aging societies in the evening, old ladies walking, wandering around. So we have the program. We have to secure them, and then we report to the certain places. So we have the energy saving activities. We reached 70% reduction model comparing 2010 by utilizing CO2 type of the refrigerator, special type of the equipment by recycling the many food items and utilizing for the energies. So as we are getting from convenience to essential, and then we are getting from merely neighborhood stores to social infrastructure. So we have to bear in mind we contribute to the community, which is the one of the very important mission from now on. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, it was a fascinating sort of overview of the industry, and it seems like there's just so many moving parts. It would be impossible. It seems almost impossible to try to keep your head wrapped around all the different moving parts in the industry. Anyway, we'd like to go to questions from the working press. If you could please state your name and affiliation, and please keep it to one question. If we have time, we can go for another round of questions. So, Daniel, and then the gentleman over here.
Hello, I'm Daniel Eskenazi, a freelance journalist from Switzerland. You talk about the shrinking working population, and I was wondering, there is topics now in the Western countries, robotics. So how do you think robotics could actually help you and how many jobs could be in danger because of automation and robotics?
Okay, I was in Davos, and then, as you know, in the Davos, many people discussing about the fourth industrial revolution, and then, I thought a little bit differently because many Western people, non-Japanese people, talking about how we protect workforce. All routine works taken by robotics. Those kind of discussion going on. But from my point of view, this is the unavoidable situation in Japan. Unavoidable situation meaning already workforce is decreasing. And then now some of our rural area stores always claiming me, "Hi, Tamatsuka-san, there's no crew we can, arbeit workforce we cannot take. We cannot operate 24 hours. There's those kind of the complaint and argument always we are facing. So we have to create really totally different, highly productive operation model. For example, introducing a totally new type of the POS system, the cash till. Now we are doing beep 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 852 yen please. Put the shelf once, and then immediately they can calculate by putting RFID for each merchandising, for example. Or every day we are distributing it to the stores 5 times, 6 times by different truck. Now we are creating the consolidated distribution model, which can reduce 3 times a day, but all type of the temperature we can meet. Or by utilizing big data, Ponta data, we are now moving forward more automated ordering system. So this is the kind of unavoidable situation for Japan. That's why I think innovation can happen where people do not have sufficient things. If you have sufficient time, if you have sufficient workforce, if you have sufficient energy, you don't have to come up with the innovative solution immediately. But Japan is now facing insufficient energy, insufficient workforce. We do have money, however, insufficient workforce. So that's why we have to come up with innovative solution. So that is, I think, good things. We create, for example, totally new type of the retail model, which is very highly productive, which can be exported to overseas. So, not worry so much about the workforce, but facing these issues, and then let's come up with some solutions. NEC has very unique solution by utilizing camera, putting one camera, and then they can monitor all merchandising stock out situation, and then give a warning. Or many Japanese company has the technologies. So now we are working and formulating to come up with totally different type of the highly productive model. Am I answering the question? I'm sorry. Yeah. I think but at the moment, the robot distribution ratio, most highly distributed country is Germany, Japan, Korea. But those 3 countries is not very low unemployment. So I think, there are so many areas we can utilize AI, robotics, and then we should shift to the job which only human being can do. And especially Japan is a unique situation because our workforce will be decreasing so rapidly. This is one of the kind of the laboratory case, maybe. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. My name is Uwe Schwering. I work for ARD German Television, which is the biggest public broadcaster in Germany. So we are currently working on a report on the Japanese labor market. Let's stay with the non-robotic robotic workforce. You have lots of students working in your stores as well, like many other convenies. Some of them are working under grueling conditions. Obviously, I have an 8-page list here with the worst cases. Now, with your franchise system, don't you evade your responsibility for the rights of the workers? And if you are aware of this problem, what are you doing against it? Thank you.
Good question. We do aware of the situation for each stores at the field level, and we have the kind of strict regulations and procedures that each franchise owner has to operate and has to deal with our employees. We do not have any intention. Oh, this is your job. This is our job. So this is a franchise people's job in terms of labor management. We do not say that. However, historically, let's say up to 5 years ago, so our franchise model, the headquarters job is a good merchandising, promotions, system development. Those are the job. Franchise people, this is your job. You have to manage your store by directly employing your employees. This is the kind of the line. Because of the situation I mentioned just now, so we cannot do this way to sustain our model. So that's why we now going to the actual store operations. What's kind of the work hours they are using? If you look at the stores, 12,000 stores. Some stores is very highly productive. Some stores is very low productivity. There are many stores managing very nicely with the protecting, meeting the compliance code. Some stores is very difficult situation. So we are now stepping in to those operations to sustain our total Lawson model. This is the situation.
How many people do you have to control the system or to control the standards?
220,000 people.
No, I mean, and how many people do you have to control?
If you want to follow up, could you please come up, and then we'll go to the next question.
Now, out of the 220,000 people who are working for you, how many people do you have to control the working standards in your shops? You said you are working on this. How many people take control of this? Do you have someone to go there and check?
Sure. We have about 1,200 people, so-called supervisors. So they are the one, each supervisor overseeing 8 to 9 stores. So this is a kind of system. And then not only supervisor, so the system is very important. They need a certain system to have the good, labor management. Okay.
Okay. So we'd like to continue with questions from the working press.
Maybe I...
Oh, okay. Stefano.
Okay. So according to the latest indication, the consumer trends in Japan are weakening. The latest data are weak. So what is your assessment of consumer trends in Japan up to the next year consumption tax increase? And if I may add, what is your opinion about the latest move of the Bank of Japan to introduce negative rates? So what's your opinion of this also weak yen policy? How affect your business?
I
Thanks.
think this year is very critical for country Japan. I frankly do not see yet for the consumers trend picking up, frankly speaking. However, the negative interest, more fiscal policy coming in, the government introducing various programs to pick up the consumer trend. Maybe this summer, and starting from spring and the summer, especially big corporation, mid-sized corporation, gradually increase the maybe wages and putting some bonuses. By doing so, the combination of those, hopefully the consumption trend will be improved starting from May, June, July. We want to see that, but at the moment, we are not seeing that. So if we cannot have those kind of situation, the next year's consumption tax hike is quite a tough one. Although I do agree for the reduction base, 軽減税率ってなんていうの？the selected items, the exemption is good because the food is so essential for the consumers. So, however, this year is a very critical year for Japan, especially second quarter.
So will you among the big employers that will raise salary for employees?
We have been doing the expanding some special payment for the people, especially they have to grow up young kids. About 20, 30, 40 age of the people, we have the special kind of the package to support for educate and have it for children. So we will continue on that. We will expand on that. However, for the so-called the wage hike, under the consideration yet. It's based on our financial result.
No. Martin?
Martin Kölling with the German financial daily Handelsblatt. One follow-up question and then my real question. You mentioned Uniqlo, that Uniqlo doesn't have a franchise system. You still have a franchise system. You have problems in securing workforce in the countryside. You have the labor issues. You're stepping in more into the store management now. You are semi-automizing the ordering system. When do you basically change the model from a franchise system to a Uniqlo system with a fully controlled stores, fully consolidated stores? This would be my first question. My second question is about what amazes many Germans when they come to Japan and live here longer, like me, the constant innovation in the food category or also drink category. There are constantly new kinds of potato chips, which I like, unfortunately, quite a lot, or drinks. Why is that? Why is this innovation so strong in Japan? And how do you assess basically success in your stores? And how long is the average lifetime of these products in your shelves?
Thank you. The first question, it's a really good question. But with that kind of number of stores, we totally going to the directly operating Uniqlo model is, from my view, I don't say impossible, but quite difficult. However, what we are now developing is the hybrid of the franchise model and the direct model. So we acquire contracted store manager. So they are our employee. and then they will operate, manage the stores, and then we commit for that stores. So we are now considering to come up with the somewhere in the middle. That's the one. The other one is in the past, let's say 10 years ago, most of the stores operated by one franchisee operating one store or two stores. Now we have management, professional manager system. They manage between 8 to 30 stores. 32 years old entrepreneur type of the franchise owner is now managing 32 stores by putting a very competitive organization. So the other way is that we support more multiple store operator type or entrepreneur type of the managers to support. That's the situation. The second question about the food industry innovation, I think it's initiated by, frankly speaking, convenience sectors. I give you the example. In the convenience sectors, consolidation is going on. So as you mentioned, maybe a Family Mart and Circle K Thanks will be combined, merged somewhere in this year. And if after that 7-Eleven, Family Mart, and Lawson occupies more than, I think, 90% of market share, only 3 players. I give you another example. Drugstore pharmacy. In Japan, we have 80,000 drugstore and pharmacies. Convenience store is 55,000, more than that. But biggest player is Matsumoto Kiyoshi, which owns 1,500 stores. So fragmented. So many companies, so many stores. Many people mentioned about that Japan had so many companies, too much brand, too much companies. Why convenience sector has such a consolidation? Do you know the answer? The answer is we have the one crucial stakeholder, which is franchise owners. So most Japanese corporation has the stakeholders, shareholders, relatively quiet shareholders comparing to your countries, employees, societies, customers. Our case is we have the very important stakeholder, which is franchise owners. The franchise owners, if the headquarter is introducing lousy product, they leave from that brand. And then they will, harshly complain to headquarters. So this is the one unique situation for the convenience stores. Why we are so the consolidated movement going on, and because of that, our sector competition is very, very tough. So I'm inside of the competition. I'm the player, so I'm very tough and I'm so tired. However, from the broad picture, the competition create innovation. Healthier competition create innovation. The last week, 7-Eleven introduced very attractive bento box. This week, we catch up. We know their yesterday's sales. They know our sales. This is joking. But, because so many EX 7-Eleven people there, here and there, and people exchange, we get the people. So it's very tough competition. It's tough for players, but it's good for customers and good for societies. So because of those severe competitions, we are pushing really hard. Suntory, Ninami-san, please come up with this type of new product by July. No, we cannot. No, come on. Only for us. No. We have to do it for 7-Eleven too. No, this is our idea. We have to do for me. This is the kind of situation.
Okay. Before I go to Jill, just a follow-up. So, I mean, right now, if it comes down to 3 with a market concentration of 90%, so do you think that will be the end of consolidation because of antitrust issues? Like the Kotori will probably say no more consolidation. We'll keep it at 3.
So you're asking me?
Do you think it could go get the number could shrink from 3 to 2?
Yeah, it's unlikely, sure, because Family Mart major shareholder is Itochu. Lawson's major shareholder is Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi and Itochu is really tough competitors. And the 7-Eleven, Mr. Suzuki chairman, 83 years old, is no, this is my way. This is the way I will go. You know, we don't need any another culture. So this is the way. You know, very strong will. So I think we, compete each other among those 3 players. So there are remaining, people, but it's already, the 1,000 stores, 600 stores, those people. So that's why already this is the kind of final stage of the competition and the consolidation. That's my view.
Okay. Joe.
Hello, nice to see you again. Joël Legendre from French Radio and Television, RTL, BFM TV, TV5. I wrote my question while I was listening to you. You mentioned market positioning by flavor, okay? So it's very important because emotion plays a major role for the consumers. But what about quality? We talked about it in the ante room before. No? Some people say, before the old women were preparing food in their kitchen, in a chome, something like that. It was a good obento, for example, that you were providing. Now it's factory food, or I would say factory goods, right? How do you serve the consumers with guarantee food? I mean, how can you provide them the guarantee that it is good and healthy? So many diseases now, transmitted, whatever. How do you guarantee the healthy food and also the quality food? Also wine. Often the wine served in Lawson, but not only Lawson's, are poor in quality, not much good French or Italian wine appear in Lawson's, although they exist sometimes. You don't have developed so much the concept of terroir, terroir, the local products, where you can find good French wine in some places or Italian wine in some places, not necessarily the big Bordeaux or whatever. So we don't have those things so much. So my question is about the quality. Convenience stores are for the salaryman in a hurry, but does it make a good quality product for the family in the evening at the table? And is it very good for everyday life, and is it very healthy? That is my question. So what's your way, Tamatsuka-san? Thank you.
I think this is the typical misunderstanding to our industry, which our fault. We are not putting so much effort to properly communicate how much we are paying attention for quality, how much we are controlling the raw materials of productions. We are now year by year decreasing the ingredients or some additives. We do not using any chemical related additives already, needless to say. So we are putting a lot of effort, and then the quality is essential. And then now Japanese customer and our customer, let's say 10, 15 years ago, the majority of customers 20, 30s. Now, majority of customers shifting towards 40, 50. So many, housewives, older people, they are using our stores for daily necessities. So if we introduce a lousy quality and unsafety product, they quit. Only one shot. They stop, coming to our stores. So we have very strict control for the quality and for the selection of items, selection of the ingredients. We are, 100% transparency for the labeling, communicating to the customers, but not yet. We need more effort based on your question. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, you working press? Yeah, okay, go ahead. I think we have time. They said that they would probably go to about 1:40, so we have time for a few more questions.
Hi. I'm Peter Williams of Orbitune, and I had a question about inbound tourists coming into Japan. That's, of course, increasing now. And with 2020 coming, I'm wondering what plans you have in Lawson for increased services, as you are the light and the beacon in the community 24 hours a day. If some lost foreigners in town, are there increasing services you have planned for them?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we should aim 40 million inbound people. We may have some, hotel capacity issues. However, we should aim more higher target. And then, we are doing so many things, changing the level for the more, various languages. We have some stores in Asakusa has a tax exemption, stores, and we are introducing a new type of the POS system, where people can, read multiple languages. So signages and the merchandising assortment, we immediately get the information. Those are the cosmetics, especially Chinese people like to buy. Let's have that assortment. So we are putting so much effort on that. And then this is the opportunity, not only for us, but also for Japanese all retailers.
Sorry, I had one follow-up. You talked about the intense competition, and I think I first found out about the Match Cafe when I went up to Fukushima on a reporting trip. And after that, I started going more often, but then I realized all the other convenience stores also have the coffee, and which is it's very convenient, obviously, because it's a convenience store. But it's in terms of the cost performance is very good. So when one company or one convenience store chain starts something, it spreads very quickly to all the other chains. And I don't know who started the coffee business, but I'm sure.
We started.
Okay, so I'm sure like Starbucks is like probably feeling the pain. But once it spreads to everybody, how do you differentiate yourself?
Yeah, from our point of view, it's totally different. However, from customers' point of view, all convenience store coffee. So that's the challenge. So it's a communication issues. However, if I start talking about our beans, it's different. Our machines different. We are espresso type of the machines, and we serving to the customer. It's not self-service. We have here and there differentiation. However, as you know, as you said, if we launch the coffee program and they are watching, and if that's good, they come. But it's good. By doing so, actually Starbucks sales was not damaged, increased. So we expanded the coffee potential customers. So convenience is so, inside of the everybody life. So they started drinking coffee. So, today, Lawson coffee, but today is a special day. Let's go Starbucks. That we expand the pie of the market. That's my view.
But in terms of other products, it seems to me that the differentiation has to be really tough. Not just coffee.
Yeah. So always, but the differentiation is one thing. The other thing is we have to fundamentally continuously provide very strong items. So it's competition. Yeah, from your point of view, you are selling same product, but from our point of view, we are competing every week for better items than last week, better items last month, last year. So continuously doing that.
Sorry. Oh, please go ahead.
Hi, Tamatsuka-san. This is Monami from Bloomberg. I was going to ask you about the consolidation issue, but James already asked. So I understand that you are a great triathlete. In your personal life, triathlon. James mentioned that you used to play rugby before, but I'm sure that you are doing triathlon training these days, and I'm wondering if there's link between triathlon and managing big company. Do you see a link in that, and what's your latest challenge in that field? Thank you.
Sorry to say that, but I stopped doing triathlon about 5 years ago. Since I became Lawson, the CEO. Too busy. However, 3 to 5 times a week, early in the morning, I still keep running. And I was playing rugby up to 32 years old. At that time, I was in Singapore. And then I was selected as a national team for Singapore and play against Australia, New Zealand, and those people because Singapore is very weak. So I could become national player. I couldn't become national player in Japan. If I start talking about the rugby, I need another 30 minutes, so I stop here. But I do not play rugby anymore because it's too dangerous. Just learning and just running, and keep fit because I'm the person. I did the very hard type of the sports. If I stop doing exercise, it becomes more sick. So that's why I need exercise. Yeah. Okay. But no more triathlon. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sorry, I think Stefano had to follow up, and then I guess if we have time, Martin.
I think that one striking indication of changes in the Japanese society is the appearance of the non-Japanese worker in convenience store and the sizable number of them. So may I ask how many of them in percentage also in your company you think that they will grow? And they are all students or not? And who are them and where are they coming from?
If you look at our stores, especially around this area, Tokyo, so you can see so many foreign people, and mostly they are students. However, if you go rural area, the situation is different. I don't know exact percentage, but 何人ぐらいだか分かる？クルーの外国人比率って分かる？分かんないですね。そんな集計。It's not that huge if we look at the total chain, but if you look at the metropolitan area, yes. And then what we are negotiating with the labor department and is the skilled worker allocation to the convenience sector because our job is the store people has to utilize IT for ordering systems, and that they can learn the customer service. The Japanese customer service is valued by foreign people as a foreign standards. They can learn a lot of things. So we are now negotiating with Japanese government to expand for that kind of allocation. And then, working for Lawson, and they have experience, and they go back to their own country, and they do become the franchise owner or store managers. We want to create those kind of circulation.
Okay.
Perfect.
This was my question. Overseas expansion. I would like to know what's your plan overseas and whether you can basically transplant the whole concept also to other markets in Asia especially, or whether you have any plans also to go beyond Asia and maybe to Europe and other markets, and whether you think that this store concept, convenience, the community store concept, has a chance in places like China or wherever.
I think first priority China and Southeast Asia, and I think that we are now creating the formation and the winning formula, which we can, even overseas, we can meet the customers. The one thing is we have to serve total needs for the society and the community. The breakfast for Indonesian people and the breakfast for Philippine people, breakfast for Kyushu people is different. So what we can bring is the system and the way of utilizing business and supply chain, and how they can set up the supply chain to create very competitive merchandising. So we have those kind of system, and 5 years, 10 years down the road, overseas expansion for Lawson is so important. So I don't say there's saturation for Japan because of the market. I don't say that. Still, we have the opportunity by adjusting market change. However, especially Asia, middle population is coming up. So still, it's painful challenges, especially like Indonesia. However, if we look at the 5 years, 10 years down the road, it's big potential for the convenience format. So overseas expansion is very important. And then maybe second priority is seriously considering North America. But we should not go in from the scratch. In that case, we have to buy some platform company. And then together with them, we create truly neighborhood store model in that market. Third is maybe Europe. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, I think we've run out of time. I just had one quick question about, this is something I'm hearing more from Japanese executives because they're running into the labor shortage, but they're also running into people as they get older, they're having to leave or cut back on work to take care of their parents or other relatives, kaigo rishoku. And I was wondering what, if anything, you as a company are doing to try to accommodate those people. One person talked about having shared roles, having managers share the work, for example.
Yeah, up to now we we put the facility for the child care, facility at our headquarters. We focusing on more, the child care. However, we haven't stepped in towards the aging people's nursing, those areas. But obviously, we have to consider for those kind of action too.
Very good. Sorry we've run out of time, but anyway, I would like to thank again our speaker, Mr. Genichi Tamatsuka. And as is our usual custom, we would like to give you an honorary membership to the club. And so hopefully we will see you here at some point. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。すみません。どうもありがとうございます。Thank you very much.
I'll see you on that.